95, Asher Lo Hayam. Asher Lo Hayam, Behu Asahu. Asher Lo Hayam, Behu Asahu. Beyavesh et Yadav, Yatzaru. Beyavesh et Yadav, Yatzaru.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This evening we're going to focus on Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat is next week. It is our tree planting celebration. So we'll have some readings and meditation to kind of get us in the mood for being outdoors and for reveling in the wonder of God's creations. So I'm going to invite you, if you will, to close your eyes and just take a few moments to go on this little Tu B'Shvat journey with me. Imagine that you are walking in a forest preserve, or walking around your block, or even in your own yard. It's not a walk to get anywhere. It's a walk with the intention to pay attention. Especially notice the trees. They might be snow-covered, or rich with leaves, or bare. Accept them as they are. Focus on one tree that attracts you. Stand close up and observe the branches. Can you see any buds forming? Are there leaves hanging on from last year's season, fluttering in the wind? Look closely at the bark on the tree, its color and texture. Notice the shape of the tree's canopy. Are there any nests? Check out the roots. Are they visible? Breaking up a sidewalk, covering the ground by stretching out wide. And then take some deep breaths, conscious of the fact that you and the tree are exchanging life. You may open your eyes. Martin Buber speaks of the shift in our relationship to a tree, from an it to a thou. Surely this is what is needed in order to save the planet. When we love, we enter into an I-thou relationship. We see the connections between us and how we are, in fact, one breathing entity. We turn to candle lighting John and Julie Ivanhoe.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue on page 14, Or Zarua.
Or Zarua l'tzadik, u'leyishvelev simcha. 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 Or Zarua l'tzadik, u'leyishvelev simcha.
O you righteous, rejoice in Adonai and acclaim God's holy name. We continue page 20, L'chadodi.
a new melody, old familiar words. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mekabela. Shemor v'zachor v'dibur echad, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו תפארת בלי תילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת תלכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נשכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי אורי, שידברי, כבוד אדוני הליך בגלל. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת פלה, גם בשמחה וצהולה, תוך אמונה ששם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Page 24, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bolachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Huni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Trees give us air to breathe, helping to sustain life. So too, may you have a long, happy, healthy life. May you have space to breathe, and may you breathe life into others by your example. Trees have roots that go deep into the ground and connect not only with the earth, but with other trees. So too, may you always know the joy of family, close friends, and a community to keep you company throughout your life. May you always be surrounded by people who love you and keep you connected. Tree trunks hold steady through harsh conditions. So too may you be held steady through life's inevitable bumps. The nature of trees knows when to hold on and when to let go. Called by the voice of nature itself, they follow a rhythm of their own. So too may you hear the still small voice within you, and may it inspire you to a life of goodness in harmony with the world around you. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 26.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Ve'alma divarach yirtei, ve'amlich malchutei.
B'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'vizman karim, v'yimaru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam u'l'olmei omaya, yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal, shmei kodesha b'rechu. Le'elamim kol berchatav v'shiratav.
Tushbechata v'nehemata, damiran me'alma, v'yimaru, amen. We rise for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship, page 28.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed.
Ma'ariv Aravim, evenings, page 30.
Blessed is the one who makes the evening fall. Blessed is the Spirit who guides us all. Blessed is the one who makes the evening fall. Blessed is the Spirit who guides us all. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'arim aravim. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'arim aravim.
We prepare for the Shema to recite the sacred words of our tradition. Take a deep breath in and out. And once more in as we begin the prayer. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. We continue with the Ve'ahavta, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech ושכבך ופקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Every tree was once a seed that waited. A seed knows how to wait. A cherry tree will wait for 100 years. A lotus seed may wait 1,000 years for a chance to become a tree. Most seeds hope for an opportunity that will never come, to shed hard coats and take root. What does it take to pare away the husks of our own hardness, to put away resentment, selfishness, arrogance? In spite of doubt and stubbornness, someone believed in us, nourished us. So whatever keeps us tethered to obstacles, let go, focus, begin again, ready to pray. Life holds the possibility of inner transcendence, moments of love and awe, so powerful that they call upon us to redirect the course of our lives, to ascend the holy ladder and know the divine. Continue Mi Chamocha, page 40. Out of deep center, night passes through. Gates open, seasons change. Stars swirl on their eternal pathways through the light. Light to dark to light spins the glorious heavenly array. This too is the name of Adonai, living and eternal until the end of time. A fountain of blessing are you, endless one, who blends the night of evening. Continue on page 44 with a song for Shabbat, Yismechu.
Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshe, Mekadeshe, Mekadeshe Shvi vekore oneg Shabbat.
והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת חמדה ימים אותו קראת שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת וקורא עונג שבת זכר למעשה בראשית שבת זכר למעשה בראשית שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת וקורא עונג שבת. We continue with the Amidah, the Tefillah. I invite you to rise. Our prayers begin on page 46. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaHaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh HaKol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Gula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim, Atah Rav LaHoshia, Shiva Ruach U'Morid Hagam, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimidu Mechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahachayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hametim. Page 53. Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever present, eternal one? My heart cries out to you, please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. Where might I go to find you, exalted, hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever present, eternal one? Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We take a few moments for silent prayer.
Ose shalom bimrama, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimrama, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimrama, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol ha'olam.
Let's take a moment to think about those people in our lives who are in need of healing, physical, emotional, spiritual. And I invite you to say those names aloud and to also offer a prayer for their caregivers and their families. We continue through these difficult times, and sometimes these prayers are what keeps us feeling grounded and whole and comforted. So we relish them and we turn to them and we pray fervently that God will intercede on behalf of all those we love.
Help us to heal, comfort our souls, maker of all things, make us whole. Help us to reason, hear our prayer. You are our God, you are our strength. You are our hope, you are always, always there.
In his commentary on the first words in the book of Genesis, the medieval commentator Rashi asks a somewhat unusual question. Why does the Torah begin with the creation of the world? Why not begin in Parshat Bo, in chapter 12 of Exodus, as the Israelites marched to freedom after 400 years in slavery? Doesn't the promise of freedom characterize our greatest hope? Release from bondage, release from lies and deceit, release from the choking fear of Pharaoh's corruptive power and destructive influence. It is as if time itself is beginning anew. For the Israelites, it is the first Passover. For Americans, it is the inauguration of a new president. Sacred beginnings are marked in a particularly powerful way. For the Israelites, it is emerging through blood-stained doorposts, the imagery of new birth. In America, it began with a moving and elegant tribute to the 400,000 who have died from COVID-19. And then on Wednesday morning, music and poetry and heartfelt speeches. And then on Wednesday night, a glorious reminder of who we are as a people and After the long night of the first Passover, the Israelites emerge in the morning through bloody portals, leaving Mitzrayim, straits, the narrow place, and as they come into being as a free people. In America, we emerged on January 20th, many of us with tears in our eyes as new leadership vowed to serve our country's best interests, to work for the good of all citizens, to regain the trust of our global allies, to take command with reason and intellect and moral strength. In Jewish sacred memory, we are instructed to remember that our birth story is a story of liberation. As Moses tells the people as soon as they have left Egypt, remember this day when you went out of Mitzrayim from the house of slaves, for Adonai brought you out from this place. Let us never forget what we have endured these past 4 years. We will remember. That is what we Jews do. We cannot let ourselves become morally enslaved again. For 400 years, the Israelites were passive characters in the unfolding drama of their redemption. Marking their doors with lamb's blood is the first thing that the people of Israel are asked to do for themselves. This act becomes their first step towards freedom. An essential first step on any journey towards liberation is a willingness to identify oneself, to step up, to speak out, to mark oneself simultaneously as oppressed and as ready to break the bonds of oppression. This is the challenge that our ancestors leave us. We may no longer be slaves, but the world is still far from redeemed, and these questions still echo for us. What are the steps that we need to take on our own journey of liberation? How do we mark ourselves as both oppressed and free? What is the risk that we each are willing to take to signal the beginning of new possibilities? As the Israelite slaves were willing to mark themselves and take that first step, so too may each of us be willing to stand up, speak up, and make our mark on the road towards freedom. This week, we have taken the first steps towards a renewed liberation in our land. Let no one sit quietly again, accept lies again, deny truth again. Is it too late? I pray that it is not, but that will depend on you and me. Shall we march with the Israelites? I say yes. Our service continues with the Aleinu. The Aleinu is found on page 282. We rise as the ark doors are opened.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד.
Think about those in our lives who have departed this earth. either recently or in years gone by, as we prepare to say Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba. Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala v'zman kariv v'yimaru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'rechu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Amakom Yenachem, Amakom Yenachem, Amakom Yenachem, Amakom Yenachem. May the one who comforts console you with the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. May the one who comforts console you with the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem.
And now Jim Hoffman will share a reading.
One day, when Honi, the righteous man, was out walking, he came upon a man planting a carob tree. Honi watched as he carried out his work. The man dug a hole for the roots of the small tree and then carefully put the tree in the hole, patted the soil around it. Afterwards, he gave it some water from a nearby stream. How long will it be before this tree bears fruit? Honi asked. 70 years, the man replied. How do you know you'll be alive in 70 years? Just as I found carob trees when I came into the world, answered the man, so I am now planting carob trees for my grandchildren to enjoy. Honi then sat down to have a meal and fell asleep. When he awoke, he saw a man gathering the fruit of the carob tree, and he asked him, "Are you the man who planted this tree?" The man replied, "I am his grandson." Honi therefore realized that he had slept for many years. As he watched the man gathering the fruit from the tree, he saw beside him several small trees waiting to be planted in the ground to nourish future generations.
Thank you to John and Julie Ivanhoe and to Jim and Sharon Hoffman for their presence this evening at our Shabbat service. Thank you, as always, to Amber for the tech. We couldn't do it without you, but we are going to be looking for him to fill in temporarily. So if you'd like to learn the scenes web, it's really not that hard. And I think Amber would agree that we could easily train you. So be sure to get in touch and let know if that's something you might take on once. Tomorrow morning is very busy at Congregation Nefesh Sol at 9 o'clock, beginning Hebrew at 9, Hebrew reading practice at 10 o'clock, Women's Torah, and at 11 o'clock, discussion about Netanyahu for Israel. So lots join in, and we hope to see you tomorrow morning. In honor of Tu B'Shvat, we're going to conclude with some beautiful slides of nature, and we will be singing a song by Craig Taubman entitled, "The World is a Circle." The world is a circle, a never-ending circle, a never-ending circle going round and round. The sun goes up and the moon goes down, and the world goes around and around and around. We are a part of the circle, a part of the circle going round and round. We are a part of the circle, a part of the circle going round and round. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Tu B'Shvat.